system, your
world will never be the same again.
in television.
Odyssey, a new dimension.
Space Station. Really? Only from Panasonic.
Graphics 16 from NEC.
4,000 games console.
Astro K. A professor exceeded. And alone.
326. Now get up to
CDI starting at $2.99.
Child Video Entertainment System. Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Welcome to the summer of 1982. How do you know which video games are the best video games? How do you know which computer games are the right games for you? Well, you know the best source is here on Chronologically Gaming. Not in those magazine ads, not in the brief screenshots you may see. This is where you can get the best source of all the news of the hottest video games. The last one we played was Space Raiders on the new console, the Arcadia 2001 by Emerson, and it's known by lots of different names all over the world. Let's continue our main quest, which is playing everything after Space Raiders. We're now going to the arcade to play Tutankham. That's right, this is by Konami. Very excited to show this one off. This is the artwork, or what the operators would have seen for Tutankham. Who grabs the treasure? They should have thought of a better tagline than that. The new video game by Konami, Industry Company Limited. Konami, I like the sound of that. This release we're going to be playing is the first one in Japan, so this is the advertisement flyer they would have seen first. Look at that with some screenshots, very tiny ones. I don't know why they should be showing it off. Look at that game. You should be playing it right now. Yes, another solid classic for sure. If we flip over the ad in North America or in English, it is find the location of the enemies on the radar and advance carefully, picking the keys one at a time, opening the doors with them. Bonus points for picking up keys and treasures are scattered in the maze. The speed of enemies varies to each other, so be careful and attack with the laser beam. That's right, they're adding laser beams to us going in a tomb in Egypt. And then how do you conquer Tutankham? You beat the enemies using the flash bomber if you're in desperate danger, and then you can also laser beam and shoot horizontally. There's a timer set in each stage, and you have to clear a stage before it runs out. Make the best use of the warp zone to escape from enemies. And here it is, the cabinet of Tutankham, another one that just looks fantastic. I just want to go to the arcade right now, step up to it, put some coins in and play. And you see on the side they have the artwork, giving you the feeling like you're going to play something Dungeons and Dragons feel, maybe Dungeon Crawl feel. Yeah. All right, so there's the arcade PCB. There's the control panel. This one is another very interesting control scheme. We have the joystick on the left. It's only a four-way joystick because it's still a top-down maze. But over on the right, you have another joystick, a reminiscent twin-stick shooter, but the other joystick is only a two-way, so you're only firing left and right. And then, of course, you have that flash button if you get in a tight spot. So there's our controls for Tutankham. And there it is, the arcade marquee, looking on top of the arcade cabinet with another fan art that was made. I guess the later one, because this artwork is the artwork you'd be seeing at home, but blown up in spectacular fashion. Nice. With an example of the screenshot. All right, let's see what the manual has for Tutankham. The release we're going to be playing is first in Japan. If you had the North American arcade cabinet, this is what you would have gotten because we can read it. It is not in Japanese. The object of the game is to find the hidden treasure deep in the pyramid, advance carefully, either avoiding or destroying the nasties, and pick up keys in the maze one at a time, as in all caps. Open the doors to hidden treasure. You can only pick up one key at a time, and they repeat it again. You must bring that key to the door at the end of the maze, then go back and pick up the next key until all keys are picked up. The number of keys per rack are indicated by the number of locks on the door at the end of the maze. While advancing through the maze, players can also pick up bonus treasure in various tunnels. For those points, got to get the points. And then we have the warp zone. You can use passages to avoid all the nasties. They do not pass through the zones. The player can move in four directions, but can only shoot left and right. Again, a bizarre and interesting choice. You can't shoot up, you can't shoot down, only left and right. Then we have the flash button to destroy all the enemies at once. Each stage is time controlled. The faster the stage is completed, the greater the bonus score. If the time runs out prior to finishing the stage, the player loses firing capability. And that's pretty much it. The rest of this manual for the arcade is all technical. So I'm not going to bore you with all the dip switches and electronic circuits. We do have different versions. Obviously, in North America, it was released by Stern. And here in Japan, it's released by Konami, by H. Tanigaki. Here we go. It is Tutankham in the beginning of June 1982. Yes. Oh man, now this one is a title I never played in the arcade. So this is my first time to check out and play Tutankham. This one is almost like what we've seen computer games want to be. They want to take the maze genre, like Pac-Man, but they want to add some more substance to it, like giving you an objective to get to the end. This game is doing that. And we've already seen several top-down games that are played on the computer, very similar with role-playing elements maybe in there, or the dungeon crawl feel. but this one is going all out, and it's very unique to see an arcade game do this. The only other one I can think of that's in this kind of realm would be Venture, and every other game that we've seen in the arcade has been space shooters or something a little unique like Kicks, but they're all very arcade-style games, very, let's get into action fast. This one, though, is different. It is like we're playing a role-playing game. He does look kind of like Mario with no mustache. I wonder if he was designed the same way. All right, let's put some coins in. Ooh, very nice. Indicates intrigue and mystery. All right, we're in. And I do have a mustache. Look at that. I got a little gray mustache. Very cool. So the control scheme is just a 4-way joystick, so I can't move any other directions. The firing, though, is only left and right. And while it feels like I'm playing something like I'm in the 1800s exploring a tomb in Egypt, the laser beam kind of takes you away from that. It gives a slight sci-fi feel, which I think Konami wouldn't have let the developers get away with just this period. They said, you got to put some lasers in there. We have to have some kind of space theme going on. And that's how they get you. Because you can't shoot up and down, you can get trapped inside. But man, sound effects are really nice. So what hits great with this is not necessarily the gameplay itself, like moving around. It's the ability to explore, see the game further than before. I'd say on an even grander scale of games we've seen like Super Cobra, Scramble, and ones that show you the level. This one is, you're in a tomb and you want to see what the next area is. We have different enemy types, and then look at that, we have generating enemies. They're coming after us. They're coming non-stop. And kind of a big throwback to what we're going to see later. And eventually when you get the key, you open up the door and move on. I'd say they're pelicans. They look like some kind of birds. The graphics, though, are great. It just feels like this is a game that we should have seen already on a computer, done like this. And then their timing is, too. You can see I got to get up to the top where the key is. Oh, man. Let's see if we can lure this guy up there. And the different enemy types have different movements, too. It did encourage you in the manual to use the warp to get in and out of tight spots. But you can see the enemies just keep on coming. Let's go in this one. Warp down here. Make our way. Yeah, then those really fast ones. I can't tell. It looked like moths. Probably some insect. And then notice the beginning has the star field. Like a throwback to Moon Cresta and all the other space shooters that we've seen. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? And another feature that really sets this game apart is take a look at the top. It is a full map of your surroundings with all the other enemies that you'll encounter. Very, very well done. And the game just screams polish. It screams just fun. Going into explore, we're seeing more and more games that give the feeling that they really just want an Indiana Jones video game. This is no exception. Of course, the character we're playing at, he doesn't look anything like Indiana Jones, but you don't have to look like Indiana Jones. It just has to give you the feels. They got me again. The fast moths, man. They're so quick. And you can see them coming from far away, so you have to plan looking at the radar at the top of the screen. All right, we'll make our way this way. And we didn't get an indication there's a key. But when the moths come after you, you really just want to bail or throw your flash bomb down. Oh, yeah, it does. The level layout. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't see that one. All right, so let's go for a few points here. Let's see where this warp leads us. Back up at the top. Okay, so we just go back and forth. And if we need to, yeah, there's our flash. Oh, I do need to get the key, so I have to go to the top. And then I think I only get one per time. Every arcade game we play, we set it on the default dip switches or the factory level, but you can obviously switch it. Yeah, I only had one. I tried using the flash again and it didn't work. But we always do the default instead of tweaking or changing it up. All right, so we already got the key. Let's move our way over here to the right. Yeah, the moths just come straight at you, and you can see we have only one key at a time, so I have to make my way all the way back trying to see if I can lure that moth down here, but forget that. We'll go to the top. Now, this one is tricky because if you go down there, you're going to be vulnerable. So you have to remember your shot only goes up and down, so wherever is a long path, work it one at a time. All right, made it through, and now... Oh, we have an open area. That's freaky. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Need to lure him that way. There we go. And now we have another key. Oh, yeah, this is just really dangerous, that open area, because you can only fire one at a time. After going from Robotron 2084 to this, it feels like I'm underpowered instead of overpowered. And you can put your initials in. Very nice touch. Love it. They keep getting better and better at how to rank and realizing the competition that's in the arcades. You gotta have it. Wow, 7th place, not doing as well as I thought. Looks like the practice didn't work. Oh yes, later games like Zelda and Castlevania, definitely. Now, I have to admit, if you saw this in the arcade with the other games, you might think it's, again, something you're going to play at home on the computer. But once you get into it, you realize that it's the moving around the maze isn't what's fun. It's I want to see what the rest of the tomb is like. It feels like you're exploring, which is kind of different than arcade games. That's usually not the goal or focus of arcade games. Let's just sit down and shoot stuff. Nope, see, that's the thing. All right, so they give us a checkpoint right there. And we just go right to the end. Nice. And then based on your time, a timed game. How quickly can you get to the end? And every time we play, you've noticed the generators and the enemies coming through are random. So that every time you experience the game, it's going to be different every time. See, for example, this enemy, the snake, the laser shot doesn't go past. But the other birds, I'm going to guess they're birds, whenever you shoot them, it goes through them. So it'll attack any other enemies you have. Wow. Gotta remember my flash. It's that symbol that looks like a genie lamp at the top. Alright, so let's make our way over here. Stay here. Destroy the moth. And this time we'll warp down to this side. And now we can be pretty safe here because we can move left and right. Alright, let's go here. I'm going to do another one. Gotta be really careful of the enemies. Gosh. Alright, so we already have one of the keys, so I'm going to go to the end and unlock this first door and then come back for the second one. And even after the death, I can see how this would have gobbled lots of quarters because you would have wanted to know... I can figure this out because I saw where the key was. Let's do it. Let's play even further. Gosh. And you start getting used to the enemy patterns, too. We'll just go A. Got the high score today. Oh, still 7th place, though. Oh, gosh. Yeah, the current area and main playfield is on the left side. Yeah, you really want to utilize the radar when the faster enemies start coming at you. And see how this is a different pattern of enemies than we saw first. So let's make our way down here, and also notice how the level design has the beginning showing you the benefits of the warp. How all the enemies back there, they're not a problem anymore. Gosh. Do you take the risk and go for the treasure, or do you just end it? So we'll keep going. I want to see the next after the next door. I know that's true. It is very reminiscent to Gauntlet, even though the inspiration they said came from Dandy, the game on the Atari home computer. All right, so let's just avoid that one. Go right to the key. Go on this side. Gonna take care of him next, and then we're gonna see if we can lure the enemies. Oh, I see. I should have paid attention to the warp. That snake actually was going down like he was going to warp into it. All right, so we'll make our way this direction. Unlock the first door. It has a different feel than Gauntlet because it's the limited shot that you have, and you got to be a little bit more careful where you move and how you move. God, see, look at that. And that can be remedied just taking a look at the radar. Oh yeah, already seeing the scores coming out. Would you say this is one of the best arcade games of all the arcade games you could play at the time? It has larger ambition than other arcade games. We've had arcade games that want you to progress through 10 screens and see whatever the next level is, and this one goes a step further than anything else as far as how big the scope an arcade game can be. We didn't see in the manual exactly how many levels Tutankham has, but I love the idea of how many could it have. Let's keep playing. Does this loop? When does it loop? I'm sure there's no true end. Every one of these games, whenever you get to a certain point, it does loop around after that. Yeah, and just on the chat, this is one I would have wanted too. Yep, I'm with you. If I had this at home, it'd be one I just want to play and see how far I can get. Man, because we're only on stage 2. It takes focus, concentration, planning. Okay, we got our key, or the first key. We'll make our way down this side. We got those crazy moths coming after us. Yeah, the generation is very, very random. It's no telling exactly when they're going to show up. But you use that to help you out. See, I just switched this one out, and let's try it again. We'll zap those guys so we can get the key and then come back. And this tunnel right here is just very, very dangerous. Look at that. Look how many are warping through. And it just keeps going. They're still generating. Another bizarre choice is making this one player only. Of all the arcade games, you want to get more quarters in. Usually we see 2 players can play, but I can't even get down there now to get the other key. Come on, let's go. But this doesn't even have 2-player alternating. It just goes as 1 player. All right, let's... And the other one snuck over. It just kept coming. You have to get that timing right. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. There are arcade games that are just very popular and fun to watch. This would be a really fun one to watch, to see how far someone could get in the tomb, to see the next part or the next level they designed. I do like how the control laser feels, moving left and right. It throws me off a little bit just going from Robotron 2084 to all that freedom of shot in 8 different directions to only 2. It takes a little bit to get used to, but once you have it, then you realize you have something really fun here. Come on. We're going to go this way. See, this second time coming through, look at the generator. It's all random. I'm going to avoid the ring and just go. So I missed the extra bonus points just because they were coming out way too fast this time. We're losing time and points. I gotta see stage 3. So we know where the key is, and we got the generator up top that's bringing more and more snakes. Oh, the snake does pop in. It doesn't warp, but it does go through the crack. So they're all in my way up there. Okay, now we can make our way up here to the top. Grab the key. We got another snake, but I'll warp down here at the bottom. And now we got the moss to work with. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Warp to the top now. So I'm starting to get the hang of the level layout. At least this one, and it is going to take trial and error. Now let's see if they break me in a corner this time. Okay, good, got it. I mean, this time we can do this. Look at this. Cheap. Another one? Come on. Okay, so we got to go back for the key. This time, going to be smart about getting over to the end. We'll go down this way, and there's the second key. Now we get to make our way to the warp. And these kind of close encounters, it makes you feel like you're playing a very heavy action game, even though it's meant to be like a explore, an adventure kind of style game. Oh, is that... Okay, we still got some lives. We still got the key on us, so we can just make our way to the end. The other thing, too, is I'm not taking the risk to go after as many points, and you could do that, too. So now I got to get past the generators of the faster enemies. If they get close, I'm zapping them. Wow. Ooh, nice. All right, so now we're on stage 3. Not familiar with this one yet. Looks like, God, they're already generating so many snakes down the bottom. So we have to work our way in there to the snake pit. You did see how quickly I was dying when I originally played, and you get used to it. We're already seeing a new enemy type. It's like a super snake. But look how... Oh, we got another enemy, a faster moth. And all this, I would want to keep playing to see what else they're going to throw at us. It is so much fun. But I know we're going to need that key. We have to get it. Yep. And don't forget to mash the zap button and blow them all out of the water. Oh yeah, and they get so much larger. Did you see the key or the map that we're showing us? It just got huge for stage 3. Wow. All right, so originally I was going to say this is an excellent arcade. This is a great arcade game. I was going to go 4 stars for Tutankham. After playing more and more, this is another title I don't want to stop playing. I want to continue to stay in the arcade and pump quarters in and see how far I can go. I want to see this to the end. Did you also notice that it is not a pay-to-play game? Whenever we died, we had checkpoints if we had enough credits in, or lives in, but after our lives were gone, that was it. The game had ended. So I'm going to go bump this up to 4.5 stars. It is one of the best arcade games you could play. Tutankham is, I can understand why it was ported home so much. Excellent, excellent game. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next title. It is now time to go back to the Commodore Max Machine. The latest computer in Japan only. Sadly, though, the game we have is the Visible Solar System. We're going to be seeing this on 2 computers right now, back to back. The reason I'm showcasing the Visible Solar System is because the library of the Commodore Max Machine is so small, it's really easy to collect for and find everything because it didn't last long. This computer only lasted a few months before it was discontinued. Overshadowed, definitely, by the Commodore 64. All right, so let's take a look at the artwork for Visible Solar System. And you think about it, it's most likely an educational title. This one is not going to give us any space age feels or vibes. It is just another one of the collection of everything in the Commodore Max Machine. Let's pop in the cartridge to play Visible Solar System, the beginning of June 1982. All right, we are in. Now, the way this game is, it's not really a game. All it is about the solar system. Now, I first thought this is going to be interesting because they're going to have Pluto on here, but no, they don't even have Pluto. It only goes Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. Do they even have Saturn here? Let's see. They give us a visual representation, of the solar system. Wow. If you consider that cool. And you can also flip through different planets and check out their orbits, but it is a visual representation of the solar system, so for all the astronomy nerds out there, they would be geeking out. And that's pretty much all I'm going to show of the Visible Solar System. It is a pretty good piece of software, an excellent educational tool. As a game, though, it's down here in the half star, because it's not really a game. And after Visible Solar System, we also have Visible Solar System for the Commodore VIC-20. But after this commercial break.
Why buy just a video game from Atari?
Who better to teach us about the solar system than William Shatner? Selling us the Commodore VIC-20. Sold with other toys at the toy store. And you can see it was under $300, at least in this ad. Would this have been the better purchase than the Atari? Commodore thinks so.
The Commodore VIC-20.
Coming soon, Commodore brings you Gorf, the Wonder Arcade game, and Omega Race.
And I don't believe the ads. That Gorf they showed and Omega Race, I think that was the arcade footage. So they lied to us. That is not the Commodore VIC-20 footage. All right, so here's Visible Solar System for the Commodore VIC-20. For this one, same as before, it is a real astronomy for your computer. That's all it is. It is not even a game. It's just an educational tool. And it is by cartridge, though, so we can pop in the cartridge and play Visible Solar System, the beginning of June 1982. Because we play every video game. And there it is. Very similar to how we saw on the Commodore Max Machine. It's the same idea. Can we do the same command? And we can't even do the same commands? Okay, I guess you can fly through the different planets and check them out. So it doesn't have all the same features that the Max Machine did, but I mean, who cares? I'm going to give this one the same rating we had before. It is not really a game, so we're going to go half star. And after those two uneventful games for a home computer. Let's press forward and see our next game. Here's a real game. This is Defender for the BBC Micro. Hey, Chris Searles, how's it going? Now, this ad that you see on the left is the computer program that was airing in January. So at this point in June, no one was watching the program, but it's still fitting because it showcased the BBC Micro, where we'll be playing Defender. Let's take a look at the box for Defender. This is by Acorn Soft Games. Yeah, need the BBC Model B for this, and look at that. The front of the box is just looks like a screenshot. Very, very classy. I'm kind of getting Nintendo black box feels because they're showing off exactly what you're going to get for the game. I don't think Captain Kirk plays video games. He didn't play any video games. All he was doing was he likes to touch the Commodore VIC-20. That's what he likes to do. All right, so we flip this over on the back. Defender. It has save the humanoids from the landers using the ship's laser missiles, smart bombs, and hyperspace jump. If you fail to rescue the humanoids and landers, the landers will mutate, just like in the arcade. Mutants have a nasty habit of converging on the ship, and with the vicious baiters, bombers, pods, and swarmers can bring the game to an untimely end, complete with sound effects, full-color graphics, and high score. And then the other games, we've seen Monsters and Philosopher's Quest. I don't know if we've seen Snapper yet, but we will. All right, so other artwork we have for Defender. This is a rare treat. If you think about it, in the arcade, the official Defender obviously has already been out, but the home computer space, we've seen lots of variants, but not an official Defender. This one is not the official Defender. So this one's going to change its name really soon. In fact, I think we're going to see by the end of the month, we are going to play the other version of this, which is called Planetoid. So bask in the Defender glow while you can, because it's not going to last long. There's our cassette tape. We're going to pop in our BBC Micro. Got to get the Model B, add the more memory, and there's some examples of screenshots. And then other ones, we have different ways to boot it up. And then we have another one that can add more lives if we wanted to. But let's pop in the cassette and play Defender by Neil Rain on your BBC Micro. So of all the home computers, we've never played an official game called Defender on any home computers. This is the very first time we've played any game that was officially called Defender. We've seen lots of games that are copying Defender, but this is the first one actually called Defender. And check it out. We have a really large radar at the top, and I would say applaud them because the resolution of the BBC Micro is fairly high compared to other systems like the Commodore VIC-20, and it looks almost like we're playing on a vector-based screen, just a little bit. No, let's get away from them. Oh, they got me. So you can see the radar is large at the top, and then the colors really pop. Looks really, really good. And let's try out some of our other... Oh, there's our warp. Oh, I warped right into a bullet. That wasn't smart. And then we also have the hyper bomb. Let me go near someone else to try that one out. There we go. Yep, attack wave 1 completed. Get the bonus. Nice. Of all the home computer games we played, they have some Defender variants that are really, really close, or feel close to what you would have played in the arcades. This one is one of the best of how closely it looks the part. It doesn't necessarily exactly play the part, though. You can notice that there's some artifacts that's incorrect, or the way that they have the explosions and so forth. There's not as many pixels or shrapnel flying at the screen, but they did their darndest. And I even played this on a few different emulators just to see the difference and get some footage of a true BBC Micro to see if there is any difference between this one. And no, this is pretty much it. What you see is what you get. Why won't you die? Oh, another group showed up. Oh, I did it again. I keep warping right into a bullet. We are going to see the other version called Planetoid really soon. It's essentially the same game, just reskinned, because they couldn't call it Defender, obviously. But I applaud them for trying. At least now, in 1982, we're seeing games that are attempting to rip off the exact game. Because you're not going to be able to get that later. Yes, it is flickering in and out of existence. They are doing a very clever interrupt to make it feel like it's faster scrolling. Because bear in mind, we're playing on a 50 hertz PAL system. Most likely, at the time, you would have been plugged into your television with an RF. So very, very clever. I'll give him that. Yeah, hit detection is a little bit loose, and you can see it feels like it's chugging just a little bit to get the radar at the top. But what I really miss is the shrapnel, the pieces flying off your ship and all the explosions. It doesn't pop as much, but I mean, you got to admit, look at this scroll speed of going across. Oh, that's true. I want to try to blow up all the humans. Let's go down to the bottom. Where's all the peeps? If I blow them up, do we get suicide? Or does the whole world blow up if I blow everybody else up? I'll just avoid... Oh! I tried to avoid the bullets, but I couldn't do it. Yeah, it's a little bit loose, but I wouldn't fault it too much for that. It still plays really well and looks the part, too. They really got the laser look and sound done very, very well. Oh, and also bear in mind that we saw the controls. This is played with keyboard only. At this point, they don't have a dedicated joystick because the BBC Micro is a system that's supposed to be educating the children of England. You shouldn't be playing video games. So if someone did have a joystick, it would have been something manufactured. This would be a keyboard only. And that's why it showed us the keyboard controls before we started the game. Wow. All right, so there you go. That's Defender, the official Defender. Well, it is the word Defender. They actually had the guts to call it Defender, but it's not the official Defender. Of all the computer games you could play at home, wow, what a great job. This one kind of pushes what the BBC Micro as far as a gaming system could do. At this point, most people are going to go for the more budget system, the ZX Spectrum or the ZX81 in England. But if you had enough money, or if you copied or played around in school and you had all the BBC Micros and were able to play this would be the game that would make people want to get more BBC Micros. So I'm going to say of all the home computers, this one's a 4-star title of all the home computer games. An excellent, excellent game. Way to go, Acorn Soft. And with that, let's see what our next game is. All right, it's time to go to the TRS-80, and this is Jovian. Jovian's another title that we do not have a box for. All we have is a few screenshots, so we're just going to pop in and play some Jovian in June of 1982. Distributed by Computer Shack. This is by Bill Dunleavy and Douglas Freyer. Let's get some instructions first. Nice. So we got directional controls, arrow keys, oh, lots of controls. Switch scanners, stopping the ship, the 4-speed setting. Okay, it's very similar controls to another game we played earlier called Cyborg, which is a unique control scheme. We haven't seen any other game that did this, so this is the same thing. And then we have the example of the aliens, the mines, asteroids, the space station, destroy all pods to proceed to the next sector. Extra ship every 20,000 points, and you can also use joystick, great. And of course, fires your plasma bolts. Okay, so let's see, I think they're going to show if we do Jovian Lords by hitting L. Nice, it's the high score table. Yeah, so it's very similar to Cyborg. All right, so if we are ready to play, we hit H, and we want to go to Antares, so let's go to the first world. And we are dropped in. Okay, so this is why the control scheme feels weird. When you first start, you think, okay, let's move. And I'm moving the arrow keys, but you don't move. All it does is change your direction. When you want to move, you put in the number of how fast you want to go. So if I push 1, it's going to go that speed. If I push 4, it's going to go max speed. So we'll go down to 3, and you can see it loops. And all you have to do is make your way. I'll see the loop again. And you just have to make your way around shooting the enemies. We might be going too fast, but you want to be able to blow up the bases. In a way, this game feels a lot more like Bosconian, which we saw in the arcade. The top-down, like a free shooter, not asteroids on one screen, not a fixed shooter like Space Invaders or Galaxian. It's a let's roam around freely and shoot in a space center. I like this one better than Cyborg. just because of the concept. It feels more like we're playing a true arcade game. All right, so let's go a little slower this time. I'll hit 2 to move forward. And we should have to blow this base next. You can see it has different parts that you have to destroy. And then once you destroy all the parts, then you move on to the next... Oh! We die in just one single blip. That was way too fast. All right, so same thing again. I'll start with 1. And it saved where we left off, so we just finished blowing off the pieces. 1 more should do it. There you go. Get the bonus points. And move forward. Very fun arcade game. All right, so let's crank this up to 4. Maybe I regret it now. Yeah, I regret it. It is way fast. But it shows you how fast they were able to get the game to go. Because when you play over here on 1, it feels like the game's chugging, but it's really not. It's just designed that way. All right, let's find the space station. There it is. Nice and easy. I don't know if I'll be able to finish off the space station at this speed. There's too much power. Scotty, slow down. We have too much power. Oh, man, yeah. I really enjoy playing this one. Lots of fun. Simple premise. Varying enemy types. You have different weapons that you can control, and then you obviously have a unique control scheme that you don't see in other places. Is that more shrapnel from the mine? Do I have to blow it up again? Okay, it disappears. Nice touch. So it left behind the shrapnel, and then after the shrapnel, you just wait a second, then it goes away. You can obviously stay in the sector a little bit longer and play... Cranked it up too fast. You can stay a little bit longer if you want to rack up the points, and why not? That's what you got to do, right? Oh, yeah, another great game. Plays so well. Yeah. Is that the... I feel like we've done lots of lives. Oh, they were really generous with the lives. All right, let's start off a little slow and then crank this out here. And as the farther you get, they're going to add more mines and more enemies. And is this a larger base? Oh, yeah, it is. So now it's doubled up. Takes a little bit longer to take the base out. And the end of the battle. We get to put it in? Yes. Too cool. So there you go. That is Jovian. Man, I was actually not going in as impressed as I thought I would. I was thinking it's going to be another Cyborg. Yeah, and the good point about the menu screen, when you start the game up, you can tell that they spent a lot of time and effort and polish on the game. It's not just the menu screen. The game itself is just a well-made game. Lots of fun. And for a game that does play like Bosconian, I'd say it's another title that's an excellent arcade game. Now, Cyborg, we said, was pretty fun for the time, about 3.5 stars. But this one, I'm going to say, yeah, there's so many games in the TRS-80 that I'm exploring and seeing here on the channel that I didn't realize existed. So Jovian is another one. It is a lot of fun. I'm going to go 4 stars again, an excellent title for all the computer games you could play for the time. It's another true testament of you don't need the graphics. Even though the graphics are rudimentary, it's how well does it play. And Jovian is one of those games. Very well done. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. From one home computer to another, here is the Coco. And it's time to play Keys of the Wizard. Let's take a look at Keys of the Wizard, starting with the very few artwork we have. Here's an ad from TRS-80 Color Computer. If you look for the Keys of the Wizard, there it is, way down at the bottom, where there is a helpless damsel in distress, I'm hoping. Brand new super adventure filled with hundreds of rooms, glittering treasures, small creatures, which will follow you throughout the adventure. Plenty of tricks, traps, and puzzles, which change with each new game. Cassette save feature built in. Oh, that's pretty fancy. It says it's 20 bucks here, and then all we have is screenshots that are next. And this time, I'm so glad that we have this from the Color Computer Archive. Here's the manual for the Keys of the Wizard. Oh, really? It might be later in the year. So this release was another game we saw called The Madness and the Minotaur, and the basis of this game that we're playing was off of that, and they just kind of tweaked and changed the engine up a little bit. So here you go, Keys of the Wizard. Yes. Oh, really? Later? Oh, yeah. This is a real-time text adventure, yeah. Keys of the Wizard is a fast-action machine language adventure game filled with tricks, traps, treasures, and creatures that are all randomized at the beginning of each adventure, so no adventure is exactly the same. There's 3 different skill levels to choose from to help provide challenge for all types of players. If you pick 1, it's for the novice players, 2 is intermediate, 3 is for the advanced player, and I love the description. They break down each level and tell you what it's about, and we're obviously going to, for the live stream, going to be playing on level 1. The game is played in real time, which means that creatures will continue to move and attack even if you do nothing. Wow. Keys of the Wizard is equipped with 2 viewing screens. One is the main screen, which you'll normally be viewing. The second is used to view any messages that have scrolled off the top of the main screen. The up and down keys will toggle between the 2 screens. At the top of the main screen are 3 protected rows of information that will never scroll off the screen. They contain this information for your convenience. Cond is your current physical strength. 255 is your maximum. If you reach 0, then you lose. Score is your score. There is a total of 622 points possible when you played this game. L is the level that your current skill level. The colon is the marker for the real-time clock, because this is a real-time text adventure game. Who knew? Minutes are displayed next to the right of the colon and hours to the left, so it's actually timing the game as you go on. Oh, maybe this ad or 2 before. Got it. Okay. Well, each creature's name is abbreviated in inverse video with its current strength above it. So you're going to see all the creatures that are currently coming after you at the top. And then how to attack a creature. All the creatures have intelligence and personalities. Might be a little loose there. Some will chase you, some will fight to the death, others will fight until they get weak and then run away. The amount of damage done to a creature during an attack is based upon the following: your physical strength, the type of weapon being used, the type of command you use, and which creature you're attacking in skill level. And then obviously what they inflict back on you is based on those things as well. So how do you win the game? There's 32 treasures and 662 possible points. Dropping all the treasures in the sanctuary gives you the required points. However, every time you play, the sanctuary's location is random, so you have to find that first before you can drop and get the points. Maximum score reached when the music will be played and a win message is displayed on the screen. The game will automatically enter quiet mode so that your winning status will be saved to tape if you wish. Nice touch. That's right, so you can show off to all your friends that you beat Keys of the Wizard. So here's the obscure verb definitions. They're breaking down: ready and rest, drop, quiet, and uncle, which I love this. Uncle you use whenever you want to quit the game. You have to type the $ after typing uncle to start a new game. Uncle! Say uncle. And then we also have obscure object definitions like plectrum, used to play a certain musical instrument. Oh, that's like a pick, right? A guitar pick. The mattock and the scimitar. Oh, after all the role-playing games, I'm very familiar with a scimitar. Then we have 3 objects that will wake you from a rest if a creature attacks you if you enter your room while you're resting. This is the tome, the necklace, and the medallion. At the beginning of the adventure, one of these objects is chosen at random and will be during the entire adventure. Once the object is used to rouse you from a rest, it may not rouse you again for 10, 20, or 30 minutes, depending on skill levels, and I think they're referring to in-game minutes, not actual minutes. 30 minutes is a long time, but you will be playing this game for a while. Oh, that's what it's called in the UK. Gotcha. Okay, the plectrum. Yeah, very nice. So here's the verbs that you can use to play the game. List of weapons. And you need to have these. Look at these attack commands. You can do different things like shoot, hack, stab, and bash. And depending on what you use for the command is how you would attack. Here's the list of creatures. We have the Cyclops, who's deadly. The Orc, that's deadly, but the Orc will follow you if he enters a room you've been in recently. Then we have the Dragon, who's deadly and will follow you. The Bat's dangerous, the Troll's dangerous, the Wizard's dangerous. The Jester plays practical jokes. The Unicorn's friendly and can give you clues to help you get special objects like... you rub the horn of the unicorn. And then there's our loading instructions. All right, here it is. It's time to play Keys of the Wizard by John Gabbard. Another title that I would say is the quintessential let's play a like Dungeons and Dragons style game in machine language. Let's go. All right, from Spectral Associates. So here we go, Keys of the Wizard. Now, I first saw this screen, and I thought, okay, cool, they got a title screen, and then I saw this, and I'm like, oh no, it broke. But then I remembered we haven't had a lot of games that load on the Coco this way. You just have to continue the command, and then go. All right, Keys of the Wizard, welcome to your ultimate challenge. Can you get all the treasures and survive? We're going to do skill level 1, And there it is at the top showing our condition. We have 255 points. We're level 1. And there's all the other enemies with their health as well. We're in a small cottage with a fireplace on the east wall. There's a trail to the south, and you see a dirt path leading west. So this is a text or interactive fiction game only. There's no graphics, but it has elements that we haven't seen in any other games thus far. That we've seen games that have timing or different events that happen, but never something that's this ambitious to do real-time strategy that has enemies coming at you, which is just really cool. So right now I'm sitting and know I'm on a dirt path leading west, but I know that there's things out there that are going to come after me. And notice that it says, use your Radio Shack speech sound cartridge. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the later one will do that. For this first one, we don't have anything plugged in at this point. So is it going to read the game to us if we have the speech sound cartridge? Because I hope it doesn't do what the Votrax voice synthesizer does, and we just have to sit there and wait for all the text on screen to be read. Yeah, and the manual is so helpful too, it's telling you what verbs are going to work and not work. You'll be using the manual to help play this one for a while. Okay, so here we go. We want to go, let's go west. We're now near a stone wall. There's a winding trail to the west, and a path leads north. Let's keep going west. We're in a small ruins with strange markings on the wall. There's a winding trail to the west. Let's keep going west. You're in a winding trail, and there's a broken chariot in the bushes. There's a trail to the south. A wide stone trail leads east. There's a narrow trail winding north. So we can't go west anymore because there's the broken chariot in the way. And there's a trail to the south, and a wide stone trail leads to the east. So this time, let's go north. We're standing in a large stable. Twisting path leads south. Narrow trail winds down a hill. Small road winding up a hill, and a pool of water is next to you. Can we drink water? Don't be ridiculous. Okay, of course we can't. All right, so let's go to the small road winding up a hill. Can we go up? We're in the sanctuary near a large garden. There's a narrow trail winding north. So I'm already getting vibes of all the text adventure games we played of a large, expansive world. So even though we're playing on text only, it feels like I'm already in something that's bigger scope than most of the usual text adventure games. I'm thinking more Zork, like of that scale. All right, so we have a winding trail that leads north. Let's go north. We're in a small cottage with a fireplace on the east wall, and we're back. Oh, we did the loop. So we went all the way around to the other side. Okay, so this time let's go to the south. We're in a narrow, muddy path. There's a trail to the south. You see a dirt path leading west. There's a narrow trail winding north. So everyone is everyone making their maps on their Chronologically Gaming map tables? Because that's what you should be drawing now. Oh, that's true. I did find this sanctuary. So I did find the random sanctuary where I'm going to be dropping the treasures. And now let's go to the north. Oh, that's back at the cottage. Go back south. Let's go down. We're on the muddy trail. Let's go to the west. And then now we're in the pond. Let's keep going west. Still the pond. Oh, is this the end of the pond? Yeah, it just keeps going to the other side. So there's no way back. Let's go back east. And go back east. And go ahead and go south. Okay, and south. Now we're in the swamp. We're in a large, shallow swamp. Narrow trail leads south. A damp trail leads west. Small dirt road leads north. Okay, so let's go to the north. Oh, that's where we were, right? Large trail leads south. Let's keep going south. South. We're in the damp narrow path. A sloping trail winds east. There's a narrow trail winding north. So let's go east. Whoa, we're in a small eerie valley. There's a winding trail to the west. You see a trail winding north. Oh, the back's attacking us. Hit the stab. Oh, ready. Ready, weapon. Gosh, it is real time. Lunge. Stab. Oh my goodness. Now, this is where you would, no problem, refer to the manual when it's time to attack. So, ready. Oh, you just have to say the weapon is, during the time that a weapon is ready. But I did type ready, and it didn't give me the cue after that. And then you can also drop, quiet, and then after you do that, then I need to know the attack commands. Shoot, hack, stab, and bash. So as soon as we get into a creature, then It doesn't give me the exact command. I think it's ready first to ready the weapon. All right, we'll try it again. Ready. Yeah, it says don't be ridiculous. Do we not have any weapons? We came on this quest. We don't have any weapons. Inventory, quick. We are holding nothing. So we haven't found any weapons to attack the bat, which means we'll probably die by bat. Oh, yeah, let's see if we can escape. Giant bat is flying above your head. Keep going. So as we move from place to place, the giant bat is following us around. All right, let's go ahead. Keep going. Let's go west. West. Whew. Okay, so the bat's not here now. We would switch. So this is the first time I've ever had to run away, like literally type to run away from an interactive fiction game. Yes, right? Yeah, I tried, but I don't have any weapons. Ready, sword? Yeah, because my inventory shows I have nothing, so I haven't found any weapons yet to carry yet. Unless, is there a way to see the... What is my... How to attack a creature? They will chase you and fight to the death. Others will fight until they get weak and run away. Amount of damage done to a creature during attack is based on the following. Got it. Yep. How to win the game. Got it. And then verbs to ready a weapon will force you to drop everything except the weapon and won't allow you to get anything until you're unready it. During that time, the weapon is ready. Okay, so yeah, but if you don't have weapons, you have to find the weapon. And it looks like as you explore, you'll be able to find something. Yes. We need fists. Can't we use our fists to fight a bat? It's a bat. Most of the time when we play role-playing games, it seems we are very inept to take on these battles. We should have been more prepared. What about ready fists? Ready hands? No, yeah. You have to find the weapon as you explore the world and then use that weapon to then attack everybody. I like how it says, oh, the bat's back. Again, a real-time text-adventure game. Let's go. Run, run, run. Let's go north. Can we run away north? Okay, we made it away now. Let's go and go to the west. That's too crazy because I'm sitting here talking. Imagine if you were with your friends playing the game together at home. You'd be deciding, how you want to finish the battle, and then all of a sudden you get attacked randomly. That is the very first time. I've never seen any game do this. So very refreshing and inspiring because I couldn't believe they would do this in a text adventure game. And another title that I would like to keep playing. I want to see more of the world that this game's in and how to take on the enemies, like finding weapons. But you can see our health at the top. We are 115. We originally started with 255, so we're not going to last long if we keep getting attacked by a bat. All right, we'll go west again. Shallow swamp. Let's keep going west. All right, we found the entrance of a small tower, and a twisting path leads south. A sloping trail is east. Can we say go tower? Enter tower? Up? To go up the tower? We're at the entrance of a small tower? No, it's the same one. And then go up the top? Yes, right? It's 5 minutes of real time until we get attacked again. And then we wait a little bit, and then it happens again. Yeah, 5 minutes real. And if you look over in the very, very top right, right by the 6, it's saying we played 6 minutes. And maybe the minutes are... I thought it was in-game minutes, but I think it's real minutes because we've been in the game that long. That's true. The imagination of the kids would fulfill the graphics because I'm already having a blast thinking of that, like enemies coming after me. And this was just a bat. We weren't able to take the bat down. All right, so let's go east. Oh, that's where we became. Let's go south. We're standing on a small round tower. There's a narrow trail winding north. A narrow winds down a hill. A narrow trail winds down. So let's go down. Ooh, you're walking through a dark chamber. A damp path winds east. There's a narrow trail winding north. A winding stairway leads up. A brass key is beside you. Get that key. Don't be ridiculous. Okay, you gotta say brass key. We don't have time to type. As you wish. Now, here's another thing, too. The game's real time, so wouldn't this teach people to be better typists or faster? Wouldn't it increase your words per minute if you realize that, quick, we need to get the key. Type in as fast as you can before the bat shows up. Yes, right? We need Ozzy. He'll help play the game. Get brass key. Thank you so much. Always appreciate the help. Okay, so let's do after that. Let's go down even further. Can we keep going down? You're walking through a dark chamber. Damp path leads east. Small dirt road leads north. Passageway up a narrow stairway. All right, so if we go up, does it go up the stairway? No, it's the same one. We're in the... And now we have a large hole in the ground. Can we say go hole? Or do we say down to go in the hole? Yeah, that's how we go down inside. So let's keep going down. And keep going down. No, it's just winding through the chamber. Passageway ends up... Okay, so maybe we were just down there to get the key and then come up. But you would have to be just drawing your own map to know for sure if this is the way you're supposed to go. Oh, yes, that's true. Dungeons of Daggorath. I was going to say this is similar to Dungeons and Daggorath, but we haven't seen it yet, so it wouldn't be fair. This would be the first time we've seen a game like this, incorporating these things. That's true. To really get in the mood, light a candle, turn all the lights off, and get spooky. It would be very, very creepy. Oh, man. Well, I had a blast. Even though I didn't have any weapons, even though I was getting beaten up by a bat, that is a pretty cool game. An ambitious title. Of all the games we've seen for the home computer, what do you think? I wouldn't say it's one of the best computer games you could play, but that mechanic, I would say, skyrockets the whole adventure text genre through the roof. We've already seen other games that incorporate some elements of randomness in text adventure games, and we've seen games that incorporate the let's change a few things up or have people come in, or you have to wait a little bit of time before it interacts. But this is a whole new level of having enemies that will just come at you. So I'm saying it's a good or great title. Of all the computer games you could play, we've already seen text adventure games and very well done graphic adventure games, and we usually give them about 3.5 stars. So I'm going to say of all the games you could play for right now, yeah, we got 3.5 stars that's thrown out there. I'm going to say for Keys of the Wizard, 4 stars of all the games you could play on a home computer. It may not be your cup of tea because obviously it's all text, but a very well done game, fun game to play. Keys of the Wizard for the Coco. All right, and with that, let's see our next game after this commercial break.
コンパクト
No. Game Watch. Multi-screen.
There it is, the Game &
シュレッ
Watch.
トケース No ゲームウォッチマルチスクリーン
Last time we saw this commercial, that's the one I wanted to see. Not Oil Panic, I wanted to see Donkey
下から
Kong.
上へ上から下へマルチに展開
Yes.
ドンキーコングオイルパニック
Look at that.
スクリーンが2枚で楽しさ
Two
3倍
screens, you can't do that.
ゲームウォッチマルチスクリーン
Yes, the multi-screen Game & Watch. And this is Donkey Kong for the Game & Watch. Really excited to play this one and check this one out. Let's take a look at the box for Donkey Kong. The first one we're going to play is in Japan. Then obviously it was all over the place. All over the world, people got the Game & Watch. And if you flip it over the back, oh, isn't that nice?
No.
Let's see what other artwork we have for Donkey Kong. The very first time you could play a game called Donkey Kong, officially Donkey Kong, and not be in the arcades. This is it. It is the handheld, and it still is Donkey Kong, though. We've already played one other handheld that was a variant of this, and we even have the manual. If it was the North American release, here it is, Donkey Kong. How do you play Donkey Kong on the multi-screen Game & Watch? The best parts of the set, yes, look at this. Everything about the Game & Watch. Where the Donkey Kong is. Where the girder wire is, the crane switch, and ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, we know who that brave carpenter is. His name is Mario. We're first hearing Mario as the character ever in a video game. That's it. Mario's start position. It's Mario. Hey, I like that name. That might catch on. And there's how to insert the batteries, alarm set. But how do you play the game? Donkey Kong captured a beautiful girl and carries her into a building under construction. The brave carpenter, Mario, comes to rescue her, following them over the girders. Donkey Kong throws barrels at Mario to stop him. Knock the girder out from under Donkey Kong to save the girl. The game is played on 2 screens. The barrels which Donkey Kong throws on the upper screen roll down to the lower screen. When Mario reaches the top, he emerges on the upper one. Amazing! You go from one screen to another. The only other game that does this ever of all multi-screen games was Oil Panic that we saw earlier. And this is also a very big release because, ladies and gentlemen, that is the directional pad. That's the cross that Nintendo patented. The most amazing control. And we're doing it now in the palm of our hand with Donkey Kong. You can pick Game A or Game B. Game A is for beginners and average players. Game B is for the pros. It requires more coordination, timing, and technique. And they show you all the points maneuvering around playing as Donkey Kong, this would have been the best handheld you could play, because Donkey Kong is the best arcade game. So to have this to be able to play anywhere is fantastic. Mario, the most famous plumber. Well, right now we just know him as a new character called Mario. So they explain how the controls work. You have to jump. There was only one other title that we've seen in the palm of your hand that was a platformer like this, called Wild Man Jump. If you want to, you can look in the links down below for all the games we've ever played. And it's a ripoff of Donkey Kong, but this one's the official Donkey Kong. Aside from all the other games you would have played in the home computer area, because we've seen lots of home computer Donkey Kong clones. All right. Very excited to play some Donkey Kong. For other versions, we're going to be going in the palm of our hand, loading up Donkey Kong by Nintendo. It is June 3rd, 1982. Let's play some Donkey Kong. After you push start, when you're ready to go, you have to push the jump button. So if you look down at the bottom, all you have is a jump and then the controller. But oh my gosh, the controller. Look at it. It's too good. And all you have to do is pretty much time your jumps, because you can't jump here where the girder's in the way. So it's actually not like you're playing Donkey Kong. It's a new game, because I can only jump here and here, but I can't jump under the girders. So you have to, I guess it's a different strategy than you would play in the arcade. And you have to wait for the barrels to come down and then jump at the right time. Make our way to the top, and then we get the crane to go up. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, and you have to time the jump out to get to jump out to the crane. So it's Donkey Kong, but it's not the exact thing you played in the arcades. It's different. It's fresh. I like it. Oh, and if you miss the jump, then you fall off the side like that. So cool. And just wait for the timing of the jump, but it's a jumping platformer in the palm of your hands. Let's see where this one goes. I think they're going all the way through. Get out of the way. Oh, we got to push the crane again, and you have to wait for it to swing back, forward. There. I missed it again. Darn. Yes, this handheld is, think about it, Donkey Kong's so popular. And when this came out, this would have been the best thing that you could have played at the time. I am going all full marks for Donkey Kong. Of all the handhelds you could play, this one is a 5-star game. A great gameplay. It's Donkey Kong, and it's a variation of Donkey Kong. Nintendo didn't do the exact same thing, so it's like you're playing a new game in the palm of your hands. So cool. All right, what an evening for video games here in the summer of 1982. That's it for this evening, where we got to put our video game playing on pause. And like I always say, it's all about how many points you get. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you next time.